In this video, we give a definitive guide on how to target barred perch in the surf. We'll start with exactly where they can be found, plus we'll discuss ideal barred perch conditions. We will then cover how casting method and other key techniques will significantly improve your chances. We'll show you an ideal tackle and gear setup for the species, followed by a guide on suitable baits. So where can they be found? This particular surf perch species is typically found as far south as the southern point of the Mexican Baja Peninsula, leading all the way up through California to the northern stretch of the state coastline above San Francisco Bay. Note, being a map of the U.S., the Baja Peninsula is not clearly shown here. So what are ideal barred surf perch conditions? They can typically be caught between November and late fall up until early summer. This seasonal window mainly applies to California, but also loosely applies to other areas of the West Coast. Though the start of this window can be an excellent time to target them, it also happens to coincide with the time they are most likely to be carrying live young. January through to February tends to be the peak season for this species. We suggest always using catch and release practices throughout any winter months you intend to fish, returning fish promptly with minimal disturbance to avoid any fish aborting their young. As ever, always check local catch regulations for whichever state you intend to fish. In terms of the best tides, the end of the flood tide around 2 hours before high is often cited as being an effective time to fish. It's important to note, however, that barred perch can indeed be caught on the ebb. A common peak window for this species can actually be around high tide itself, around 1 hour before and 1 hour after. The reason for this is it often allows us to fish certain key features, which we'll discuss in a moment. Barred surf perch will actually feed in both still and rough surf conditions, though the ideal wave action would be an easy to moderate surf, as this will give just enough turbulence to confuse bait fish as well as dislodge food from the seabed in general. It also tends to provide better surf reading conditions. Certain surf perch species feed more exclusively in the day. This species, however, can be caught both in the day and at night. As with many species, dawn and dusk can be a key feeding period. So let's now look at where we should be casting. You can catch them on open, clean beach, but fishing on clean ground near to solid structure, such as near to rocky areas, weedy reefs, or man-made structures such as piers, can be a great tactic. Surf perch are drawn to large holes or depressions, or even holes of any size, so this is another great feature to cast to. Remember earlier when we spoke about the high phase of tide providing access to key features? It turns out surf perch readily hunt and scavenge very close to the shoreline in an area known as the lip. This feature type is essentially a shallow trough that sits just before the tide mark and can be one of the best features to cast to at the top of the tide. Wait for solid bite indication before striking into the fish. Strong strikes aren't required, simply strike swiftly and easily into the fish. They will often tap the bait multiple times before showing positive bite indication. It's only then that you need to strike. So what would be a suitable choice of tackle? A light surf rod or spinning rod that can cast at least 2 ounces in weight will provide good sport. 1 ounce of weight will be fine in most situations, though having the option to cast 2 ounces will be useful for casting into wind. It will also better control the movement of your bait during stronger wave action. This species won't typically require distance casting or long runs, so a 3,000 reel size will be fine, though feel free to use whatever you have to suit your rod. Use mainline of either mono, braid, or fused line. Braided lines may give more sensitive bite detection if you wish to use them. 15 pounds breaking strain will be more than fine for this species. For the most part, the mainline strength will handle the casting load, though if you wish to distance cast with weights over 2 ounces, then consider using a mono or fluorocarbon casting leader, with 10 pounds of breaking strain to each ounce you wish to cast. Note, it's entirely possible to scale down further for this species. casting less than an ounce and using as little as 6 pounds mainline to give maximum sport if conditions allow. A Carolina rig will give maximum mobility for finding fish features, though any rig that works on the bottom will be fine. Use an egg or bullet sinker with whichever weight matches your conditions and mainline on the day. Using a fluorocarbon hook length provides added stealth and also tangles less in the surf. 10 pounds breaking strain will still give some decent abrasion resistance whilst presenting baits naturally. Remember, you can go as low as 6 pounds or as high as 15 pounds. Lower will present baits better, but will be less durable, so always check your lines for damage frequently if you wish to scale down this low. Avoid using overly short hook length leaders, as this can cost you fish. Mosquito hooks between size 4 to size 2 would be one example of a suitable hook. So now, the question of baits. Sand crab are a bait that will work all year round, though particularly in summer, as this is when the perch will primarily be feeding on them as a natural food source. A good winter alternative to use is sandworm, though again these will work all year around. Shrimp baits can also be effective for many surf species including perch. Note this tutorial focuses on bait methods, though arguably the most effective way to target larger surf perch is through using lures. Be sure to check our channel page for updates on our lure series. Along with surf perch, you can also target halibut, yellowfin croaker, and turbina all along the Pacific coast, so check out the video links shown here. Be sure to subscribe to stay notified of future video releases. We hope to see you again soon.